welcome to the Aragon Analytics channel. Several days ago, I did a quick video to comment on the situation up in Illinois involving Rock River Arms, Springfield Armory, the IFMA, and the deal that they cut in order to support a bill that would ultimately have very negative ramifications for the Second Amendment and for small business owners, small scale FFL holders, that sort of thing. In that video, I also pointed out that there was some proposed legislation here in the state of Florida, where I reside, that was also just really, draconian, awful garbage. Another assault weapons ban proposal, only this time at the state rather than at the federal level. And I put forth the idea that it's very important for us to not only pay attention to what's going on internationally and with our federal government, but to also be very vigilant and keep track of what our state and municipal and county governments are doing on or against our behalf, depending on how you look at it. A couple days ago, I was made aware of a bill in North Carolina, House Bill 723. And if you go to the General Assembly's website, you're able to pull up this PDF here, and it's titled the Gun Safety Act. It's funny how the gun grabbers always go after the warm and safety, warm and cuddly, we'll make you safe by taking away all your rights bent. But anyway, ranting aside, the Gun Safety Act. A bill to be entitled An Act to Repeal the Stand Your Ground laws and codify common law regarding the use of force against an intruder, to amend the law allowing reciprocity for concealed handgun permits, and to strengthen the law regarding safe storage of firearms, to require the reporting of lost and stolen guns, several other things in here, including to require any person who owns a firearm to carry firearm liability insurance, and to limit the size of ammunition magazines. So, my recommendation to you, especially if you happen to reside in North Carolina, I'm not going to go through this thing piecemeal and dissect the whole thing, okay? It's long. I've read through it once. I'm not completely familiar with every bit of detail and nuance here. But what I do want to do is basically let those of you who are unaware, know what's going on your behalf up there in North Carolina, and also to U.S. citizens in general. Some of this has ramifications for us as well. Let's start with that, and please excuse me while I kind of scroll through here. And I want to, okay, here we go. Dealing with reciprocity and out-of-state handgun permits. Basically what they want to do here, folks, is they want to be able to, on a case-by-case basis, examine the reciprocity agreements that they have with other states and go through what each state's requirements are for issuance, and say, well, to reserve the right to say, well, we don't think that your requirements for issuance are up to our standards, so we're just going to line item out, every state that we don't think meets our standards. And that can provide a great deal of difficulty for people from other states traveling to, through, and from North Carolina. They're also wanting to require people who are even intending to own or maintain ownership of a firearm to carry $100,000 worth of liability insurance. Uh, that, to my way of thinking, is just a way to make sure that only wealthy people have access to firearms. So it's one of those guns for me and none for you kind of thing. I don't, like I said, I don't want to go off on too much of a rant. I do have a small part of a dog in this fight, but I don't reside in North Carolina. And I don't have the ability to exert a lot of influence in a political way. Um, but what I do have the ability to do is, number one, put this video out there so that people in North Carolina that were not aware of this and are people who value Second Amendment rights, maybe, just maybe, you came across this during a YouTube search and maybe you'll be informed. And it's also, in a broader sense, to remind everybody of what I stated in that previous video. You have to remain vigilant and you have to consistently keep yourself informed in regards to how your government is representing you. This is still a constitutional republic. We still have representative democracy. The government works for you. You don't work for them. And if you don't maintain some degree of supervisory attention, this is the kind of garbage that you will get. Now, granted, the chances of this bill actually making it all the way into law are fairly minimal, but it's important to realize that, just because Trump won the election and just because, President Hillary is never going to be a thing now, doesn't mean that your Second Amendment rights are not going to be constantly under assault from those who would seek to disarm you as a method of control. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there because I'm going to get very angry and ranty and it's going to be counterproductive. So my recommendation to everyone who resides in North Carolina and just to the general public, just to go ahead, pull this thing up. It'll take you, 10 minutes to read through it and see what kind of garbage is being suggested for how to govern you. I hope that this brief video has been informative and useful to you. Please feel free to comment in the comment section. And thank you for coming by to, well, it was a one-sided discussion, but at least to get this discussion started. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care.